Hi Stampers, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. Happy Monday to you. I hope you had a great weekend. So my daughter treated us to some ice cream the other day because she was in the mood for ice cream. And so I thought, we have that new ice cream suite on our new mini catalog, so maybe I should try doing something with that. So this is the bundle that is available in our new mini catalog. It's the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set, which is a photopolymer set, and then it comes with a coordinating punch, which is like an ice cream scoop and the cone. And just as an aside, a friend of mine noticed and discovered on another demo website that if you turn, this is the ice cream scoop, if you were to turn it upside down, it would actually look like a bear's head. Here are the ears. You could draw a little face on it. So that's kind of another fun thing that you can use this punch for. It's amazing what we can discover. So we're going to use this stamp set today and this punch. And what we are going to make is this card. So this is a fun idea that I found online from a fellow demonstrator called Charlene Ito. She's a US demonstrator, and the card looks like this. So if you're an ice cream lover, this card is for you. And it's just so fun to give to somebody, right? You've got like 10 scoops of ice cream on one little tiny cone. So I thought this was just really kind of cute. So I'm going to show you how we're going to make this card. So I did pre-cut some pieces here, and I have some measurements that I'll tell you, but I will post everything on the post. So we're going to start with, let me just get my pieces organized. Our base is actually just a simple base. I'm using Gorgeous Grape, and this is cut at 5.5 by 4.25. And then we're going to put on a Whisper White piece, or because our Whisper White is no longer available, it's now called Basic White. This piece is cut at 8.25 by 4, and it's scored, let me just think here where it's scored at 5.25, I believe. I will double check that for you. So you're just going to fold up the bottom like this. Give it a little burnish with your bone folder. And this piece is what's going to go on top here. So let's go ahead and put that down. We'll get all the bases assembled first. So you're going to put that on your grape base, okay? And then inside, we're going to put a piece of our Ice Cream Corner Designer Series paper. So this is also part of the suite. Maybe I should just show you the suite right away because there are parts of it that we won't be using, but I just wanted to quickly show you everything that is in this ice cream suite. So here we go, Ice Cream Corner. So you have the stamp set, the punch, which is sold as a bundle at 10% off. You have some beautiful Gorgeous Grape ribbon. We have these little sprinkles, and of course our Designer Series paper here. So that's what is in the suite. So we're going to use a little bit of this designer paper, and I just want to show you quickly the patterns in those. You get 12 sheets. So this is one of them with the nice ice cream cones, and there's a brown side on the back which you can use for the actual cone itself, meant to look like a waffle cone. You've got some nice sort of abstract colors here with some diagonal on the back. You've got some popsicles with some stripes. Another one of the abstract in different color scheme with polka dots on the back. And yet another one more in the pinks. And it's got this sort of scalloped look on the back. And then these ice cream cones here. And it has like a sprinkle page on the back. So that's some fun DSP that you can play with. So what I chose was this pattern here. So this was cut at 5 by 3 3/4. So we're going to put this piece on the inside. And you can have your scallops going whichever direction you like. So we'll just put that here. And then on the outside flap, I'm gonna do, it's the same designer paper, but I'm gonna flip it and use this pattern to show. And this was cut at 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. So again, I will post all these measurements for you. So let's put this out on the front, like so. Okay, so that is basically our base. So I'm gonna set that aside for a minute. And now what we're gonna do is this long piece here with our ice cream. So for that, I've cut a piece of white, which is cut at 11 by 2 1/4, and I've scored it twice at 3 3/4 and 7 1/2. So we're gonna just burnish those score lines so we can see them. So kind of like a mountain fold here. Okay, so like this. And then what I wanna do first is I want to add just some sort of splotches as a border all the way around, just to give it a little bit of color and it's not quite so plain. So I'm gonna bring in my foam mat. And you can use whatever ink colors you want for this. This is the stamp here that I'm going to use out of the stamp set. You could also use this sprinkle one if you wanted, but I'm just going to use this little circle blotch one. So I'm going to start with some Bumblebee, or you could use Daffodil Delights. I just wanted something that had some yellow in it. And you're just going to randomly stamp wherever you want. And we're just going to eventually fill all of the sides in with some different colors. Okay, so I'm just going to work my way down. Okay, so that's good for Bumblebee. So I'm going to clean my stamp on our chamois, just to clean off that ink before I go to the next color. So then I thought, okay, let's try some Bermuda Bay. That's always a fun, bright color. So I'm just gonna add some Bermuda Bay, just random. There's no right or wrong as far as applying this ink. Just wherever you would like. Okay, so that's good for our Bermuda Bay. So close that one up. Clean our stamp in our chamois, get that ink off, and then I'm going to put on some Blushing Bride, which is a light pink. I'm just going to start filling in some of these spaces here. You could use a different kind of pink. You can use as few or as many colors. You could do it all one color if you wanted. I just thought adding a bunch of different colors would be kind of fun. Okay, so there's our Blushing Bride. And then the last one I'm going to add is some terracotta tile. So I'm going to just randomly add some of this in here. Try to fill in the spaces that I might have missed. So it's got a little bit of color sort of splattered. And I'm not too worried about the inside in the center because we are going to put our ice cream in there. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, so now we can start to assemble our scoops of ice cream. So what I did was I cut different colors. So whatever colors of ice cream you want, I used some out of the designer paper, and I also used just some out of solid cardstock. So for example, I cut two, I've got these upside down here. And there's my cone, of course, which is cut out of the designer paper. So I've got a couple of solids. So you should, for this piece of paper, about 10 scoops will work. And those, of course, you can just punch out with your punch. Very simple. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I cut 5 just out of solid cardstock. So I've got early espresso to represent chocolate. There's some Highland Heather, perhaps grape. There's some terracotta tile, maybe watermelon, and some blushing bride, which could be like a strawberry. And then just some random patterns from the designer paper that I thought were kind of fun. So you can put these in any order you like. So I'm going to start with a chocolate one. And the only place you need to put some adhesive is at the top, because what we're going to end up doing is, like on the sample, they're kind of going to overlap each other as we put them down. So let's start at the top, and I'm going to put some of them at a bit of an angle, and others I'm going to put straight. And you can, like I say, put them in any order that you want. And so you're just going to sort of tuck them underneath each other. And this first, up to the first score line, I'm going to put about 4. And I'm going to alternate just because I like patterns. So we'll do a solid cardstock, we'll do a DSP. So let's do another solid cardstock color. Let's do the Highland Heather here. Put that underneath. And then we will do a DSP, so let's do this blue one. Now this is going to be up to our first score line. So when this is closed, it's gonna close like this on the front here. So I don't mind if this last scoop kind of overlaps that score line a little bit. Okay, so you can still tuck it under, and if it overlaps, that's fine. Okay, so then let's see. Let's put the pink here. And again, we'll just sort of keep our pattern going down the center. And then we'll put maybe this one on. So we've got 1, 2, up to the next score line. We'll do another 4. So let's put in another chocolate maybe here. Who doesn't love chocolate ice cream, right? Okay, so we'll do that. And then let's do another, I guess it doesn't really matter. We will add some of the DSP here. And this one I am going to put above the score line because when it's folded, you don't want it to crease up. So I'm just going to kind of scooch this down like so. And that should be good for the fold so it doesn't get creased. Okay, so like so. And then let's put our other flavors on. So we've got 2 more to go. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8. This is number 9. Number 10 is here. And then lastly, we are going to add our cone, our ice cream cone, which is also cut out of our punch. So it is this part, this little triangle here. Okay, so let's put our cone underneath this huge mountain of ice cream. And we'll just try to stick that like so. All right, so when you close it, this one just slipped on me a bit. I'm just gonna try to tuck this up a little bit more here. I think that's okay. You can always play around with these a little bit. Okay, so it might have a little bit of a bend to it. Yeah, this one is a little bit trickier to line up, but you do want to make sure that it still looks like they're stacked. Okay, so sort of like that. Ta-da! Okay, how did I do that on this one? Okay, so this one was actually up to the line. It didn't go over the line. And this one did a little bit. Let's see if that works better. It's going to have a little crease in it, I think, but that's not too bad. It'll be okay. All depends, I guess, how you cut these. Okay, let's just leave it at that. All right, so then what I wanted to do is on my sample here, I added some little sprinkles. So for that, we are going to use the ice cream corner sprinkles that come in the suite. And there are a lot of these in here. There are about 1,500 little pieces, so be wary. You don't want to drop this container on your floor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Tombow glue and our Take Your Pick tool. This has a putty end at the end of it that you can advance, and it makes it easier when you're picking up these tiny little embellishments like this. So I'm just going to start by adding a little bit of glue on I'm going to just do this on the solid colors of cardstock that we have here. Okay, so you're just going to pick up one of these. Sometimes you get two that come with it, but that's okay. Don't worry about that. Let's see. You just have to be patient with this. And this glue is going to dry clear, so not to worry. Whoops, I think I just got my finger in that one. You might have to give it a little bit of help. Yeah, especially if this putty comes off like it just did there. Okay, let's set that one aside. Hope I'm not running out of putty here. I shouldn't be. Okay, let's try another one. If I can get one of these over here. Maybe I'll just add a teeny bit more glue. You don't have to do this step. I just thought it added some neat little dimension, and it was on the sample that Charlene did as well, and I thought it was quite cute and a really great way to use up these little sprinkle embellishments, just because there's so many of them. It's kind of nice to use them on something, and who doesn't like sprinkles on their ice cream, right? Okay, so I'm just going to put like 3 on each one here. 1, 2, 3. And of course, these come in a couple of different colors. These are like kind of, I'd say, a resin. It's hard to describe what these are made out of. It's kind of like a really hard plastic or something. I guess resin is a good name for it. It might actually say in the catalog what these are made out of, but they're really small. But they do add a little bit. And, you know, that's going to take just, oops, I got 3 there that time. It's going to take just a couple minutes for the glue to dry as well, but we'll try to work around that. Okay, yellow. We're almost there. So we'll do the pink. And then we've got one more here. Okay. So let's finish our last one. It looks like there's pink and blue and yellow in these sprinkles. Okay, so let's add a blue one. And another pink one. Okay, we'll add another pink one. Okay, so we're going to give those, it's going to take just a second to dry, so maybe I'll just set that aside for a minute. And what we can do is, in the meantime, we can do our little happy birthday greeting. So for that, I had a piece of white cardstock, and that was cut Where's my measurement for that? I think it was 4 by 1, something like that. And I'm going to use our Lovely Labels Pick a Punch, so you can choose which design you would like at the end of your label. So I think I'm going to pick this one here. So you're just going to slide your paper in to the very end and flip it over just so you see that it's centered, and give it a punch. And then you can put the other side in and line it up and give it a little punch. Now it's called Pick a Punch because you can fit 3 different sizes into each slot. So essentially you could get 6 different sizes out of one punch. So anything from 1/2 inch, 3/4 to 1 inch. Okay, and I kind of like to punch the ends first before I actually stamp. That way I know that it's going to be centered. So I'm going to stamp the Happy Birthday. It's from the stamp set. I really like this font here. Happy Birthday, and we're going to do that in our terracotta tile. Okay, so just try to line that up. And there you go, nice and bright and cheerful. And as soon as we put our ice cream in, then we can add our greeting. Okay, so now what we want to do is add this long strip here. So because I want it to really stick, I'm gonna put some tear and tape on the back here. I'm just gonna flip this over. And so on the bottom panel, I'm just gonna put piece of tear and tape here and one on the other side, like so. I'm going to take that backing off. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this like it would go on the card. And before I actually stick it down, I may have lost a couple of sprinkles, so we might have to revisit that after. I'm just going to put this on here and make sure that it's sort of centered where I want it and that it's fairly straight. So you can play around just with the placement, just so you're happy with where it is. So I think that's pretty good. And then I'm going to press it down. Okay, so then ta-da! Oh yeah, see, maybe I did lose a sprinkle or 2. I think I did up there, so I'll fix that in a minute. Actually, I can probably fix that right now. Let's just do that while I still have these sprinkles here. Looks like I still have a little bit of glue. So you might want to just give this a little longer to dry before you actually assemble. Or yeah, your sprinkles could be coming off here. Mine was still a little bit wet, so. But we can fix that. We'll just add some more. We have 1,500 of them, so it's not like we're going to run out anytime soon. Okay, and we'll see how that goes. Oops, sticky fingers now. Okay, so there you have your pull-up, and now we can add this Happy Birthday greeting, which I think I will put sort of towards the bottom. So I'm just going to put that on with some regular Stampin' Seal and just center that and press that down. And then you can always write your little message here on this inside panel. And then last, when it's closed, I wanted to have a little something on the front. So I stamped the You're So Cool, like so. I stamped it on white and then mounted it on the terracotta tile. I stamped it in the terracotta tile. And I'm just going to pop that up with a couple of dimensionals here. And then we're just going to put this on the front just so it has a little something, like so. And I'm just going to put it at an angle. like so. There you go, and there's your card. So when your lucky recipient will open it, they'll think, oh, an ice cream card, and they'll think, oh my gosh, 10 scoops, look at that. Oh, I lost a couple more sprinkles, but I'll fix that later. So you get the idea. I think it's a fun little fold card, which is really cute, and I think your recipients will really like it. So if you would like any products to make this card, feel free to visit my website at christineludwig.stampinup.net. And don't forget, it's celebration continuing till the end of February. So with every $60 purchase, you can select a celebration item from the celebration brochure for free, which is a wonderful little perk. And you can certainly visit my online store to do that as well. So I hope you have a great week, and thanks for joining me today. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.